Here we go again. I get cut off again. Well, so I can make another extension. I think Allah really likes this topic because I was ready to end it. But now we're going to talk about the subject of tribalism. See, I wasn't going to do this, but because somebody's cutting me off, it's Allah who's cutting me off. Do you think that it would happen if Allah didn't let it happen? Didn't we just go over all of this? Well, next to shirk, which means associating partners with Allah, Prophet Muhammad, and Allah, of course, he's the first cause, but when you read about Prophet Muhammad's life, the thing he hated more than anything, after shirk, of course, that's the only sin that's not forgiven. Remember that. Associating partners in any way of power is not allowed. That's called shirk. And it's the only sin that's never forgiven, and you'll never go to heaven. Number 2 after that is tribalism. Prophet Muhammad fought tribalism as an enemy that was so dangerous. He would always say, we are one ummah, and the Arab has nothing over a non-Arab. So, meaning, essentially nothing over a non-Arab. Of course, if you know Arabic, you're one step ahead. But he's meaning the family, the lineage stuff. Because whether you know it or not, Hani's words about her tribe pertain to the Arab Muslims all over the Middle East. They don't want a convert in the family because the culture overrides the religion. So in order for you to live there, you need to be married. And in the beginning, it's all, whatever you call it, attraction between a male and a female. And it seems doable, but in the end, it's nearly impossible in the Arab world. I'm just telling you the bitter truth. Almost none survive it. I do have a couple of friends that survived, and they're still married 40 odd years. That's because they had 6, 7, 8 children. That could be one reason, but would I advise a convert to marry a Muslim Arab? It would depend very much on the personality of the person and where they would live. If you were a sheikh and had a lot of knowledge, that would be wonderful. You could live in either place, but if you want to live in America, you really must marry a very religious man. Otherwise, the culture will overwhelm both of you, and it will be a constant struggle as to whose culture you're going to follow, his or yours. And by default, if you're in America, it's going to be yours because you're the American and you know more, and he finds himself inferior. Conversely, if you're over there, it's going to be the opposite problem. You're going to be viewed as ignorant, and you're going to be called upon to follow traditions from his family. These traditions are almost always un-Islamic. Now, I'll probably get negative feedback from this, but I am out to serve my kaum in any way I can. Teach you Quran, teach you Arabic, teach you Aqidah, teach you Asma al-Husna, teach you Hadith. We've kind of neglected Hadith, haven't we? So we should make a point this week to do some Hadith. But I consider you're my family. You're my convert family. And I know you're from all over the world. I can tell by the comments that I get. And funny enough, there's a lot of Arabic writing comments. So I am reaching those who can understand English. And I'm happy for this. I pray for peace, that we will all be able to learn more see more, visit more. The only problem that, well, didn't I just teach you that most people don't believe, they hate the truth, they're ungrateful? So when I see the YouTube videos of all of the Americans in Egypt, how much they love it, how much fun they're having, eating food and ta'amiyya and going for camel rides. You know what they love? Not just the Americans, the Europeans. They love, and I've always told the Egyptians this, I said, listen, you better get a new ministry of tourism because you people don't have the slightest clue what foreigners love. They don't love the big hotels. They don't love dressing up in suits and ties and fashion and going to the Hilton or the Marriott. No, 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 no. That's exactly what they don't want. They want to pitch a tent in the desert and drink camel's milk. I mean, this is the foreigner. So now, recently, there's been a barrage of Germans, mainly, visiting places like Afghanistan and Egypt, Syria. There's even been a few in Mauritania. And this is very good. This kind of interaction with the other is something that we need. We really need it. So even if some of these people are not religious, perhaps they don't even pray. Do you think they're going to stop and go to the masjid 5 times a day? Only the very religious do that. But you know what it will do? It will bring humanity closer. That you could look at this person and say, he's not that different from me. And he isn't, because he's a human. We all have, as the old saying goes, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, 1 tongue. So we only have 1 each of those. So you shouldn't talk too much, but when you're a teacher, you have to. I find fascinating that the style for men now has been extremely exchanged from that mohawk haircut and shaving it all off on the sides and being weird, along with the tattoos and all that weirdness that we've experienced past 30 odd years with men. Well, now they all look like they come from Nubia, Aswan. The new style now is the tight, tight, tight curls, haywire, whether you want it to be up, sideways, or down. It's all black